How you
Well,
doing?
I'm doing great. Happy freaking New Year, dude.
Yeah, happy New Year to you, man. Good to
It's
see
been
you.
a while. It's been a while since we talked. You've been pretty dang busy this year.
I we stay kind of busy. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. Well, let's get the business out of the way. Two Grammy nominations, which are coming up here, in the next few weeks. You've got just an amazing new album. The important stuff. How's Morgan? How's the family doing?
Everybody's good. Everybody's good. I had one with a fever last night, but
Oh,
other than that, we're doing okay.
okay. Well, that's good to hear. The coolest part for me was hearing you all over Monday Night Football this past season.
Thank
Just
you, man.
you and Snoop was probably not the collaboration people ever thought would happen or ever saw coming, but it worked and it was
I don't
awesome.
see why not. I like Snoop.
And you got some street cred too. So I guess
Do
I
I?
guess
Not maybe not as much as he does. But
right. Did you guys get to work together shooting that, or was it all kind of
no, that
pieced
was
together
all.
separately?
Like I've met Snoop in person once, and that was very brief, like just across paths, shaking howdy. And but I've had several phone conversations with him over this thing, and then a couple other things too. He's always working, so we did not shoot this thing together. Cindy did play drums remote, and we recorded drums. Then we all kind of ESPN takes these things, and we give them our version of it, and they make their version of it, and we go, maybe we can get more back this way. And we all talk about it, and everybody talks about it, and you work on it until eventually it winds up being what you hear on Monday Night Football, and then that hopefully serves all the purposes that everybody wants.
That is a pretty iconic song that you guys did within the air of the night from Phil Collins. Probably one of the most iconic intros to a song of all time, and it got me thinking: what are some of your favorite songs with those iconic intros? From the first note, that's a jam. You're turning up your radio. You're getting close to the speakers if you're out somewhere. What are some of those songs that just like hit for you on the first note?
The first thing to pop in my head when you said that, because I had never been asked that question before, I immediately went to "Wanted Dead or Alive," Bon Jovi. You know that intro when you hear
Yes.
just like
Oh
the
yeah.
pad, and then you hear the like on the 12 string or whatever, and then you get the lick, which is a really good lick, and you know what it is.
Hmm.
As soon as it hits two notes, that one is a really really good intro. I like stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it's dramatic. Those are the things that we don't always have space for if we feel like we're given constraints, but we do them anyway sometimes.
Like when you hear the helicopter on Pink Floyd, "Another Brick in the Wall," like
Yeah, all that stuff. Like there's
those "Stairway to Heaven," could be one of those songs. And "Life is a
yeah.
Highway," that's coming on and everybody's going to turn up. Can I play you one that has been a hell of a lot of fun recently that I think if we go, forward in time into the future, 20 years, is going to be on that list?
What's that?
It's this one right here. Dude, I'm telling you, this is like one of the coolest intros as a jock, as a radio personality. White Horse is so damn fun to talk up.
No, it's interesting to me because that's a radio edit. There's a longer intro.
Yeah, no, from the album, it
Yeah.
takes a little bit to kick, but yeah, the radio edit, it's like boom.
Yeah. So if you wanted to be a real rebel, you could play the full one.
Right. Yeah, play the album version. Program director's call. What'd you do? You're talking for 30
Why are
seconds.
you playing 5-minute songs?
Right. This was such a different feel, from your last single, from your last, from the last album, obviously completely different project. When you went into Higher, there's a lot of rocking going on here. How do you go through the process of from the writing to the producing, the kind of feel and emotion you want to get from an album?
Well, some of those things just kind of present themselves as you start recording, what things are. And obviously, if you're playing a rock song, you want to rock, so I would call this a rock song. I know we're playing it on country radio, but I'm not going to.
Oh, it's rocking. Yeah.
I'm not going to make any, I'm not going to disguise it and go, it's a country rock song. I'm not going to say that about it because I think it's a rock song. So, yeah, like I said, we kind of cut things and we do what we hope serves the song as good as we can. And then we kind of sort out what that means for both the record and come to you guys with things. And hopefully we make some good choices in that.
Well, I think I mean this is a no-brainer for anybody. I mean, the first time I heard it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is epic. I mean, it was mind-blowing the first time I heard the song. And when I found out it was going to be a single, I was like, yep, this is it. This just makes so much sense.
I
And
love
I've been
that.
there.
Thank you. I mean, because it's real. It's kind of, you know, I think it scared. We had some internal discussions. I think it was scary. Maybe to some of the promo guys.
Oh, take a
Damon.
risk. Why not?
I was like,
You
man,
know?
if I was going to blow it out, he's like, what would you pick? I'm just like, well, if I was going to be, I forget the words that were used, but be bold, maybe.
Yeah,
This
take
would
a
be
little
the
risk.
choice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you got to go left to center sometimes, and this worked and it paid off. And this is speaking as a guy that has played literally every one of your singles since What Are You Listening To
And I
back in
appreciate that. Thank
2013.
you.
And speaking of that, did you watch the Megan Maroney cover of What Are You Listening To? Have you been
I
sent
haven't. Someone mentioned that to me earlier today, and I haven't seen that, but I'll go check it out.
You got to check it out, man. There's a collab waiting to happen on that. If you ever re-released it, I mean, if that ever came out, I have a feeling it would be a number one song with you, especially where you're at today. And she's obviously one of the hottest things out there in country right now too.
I feel like
think
that's one of the better bridges I've ever been a part of.
yeah,
It's a
oh,
good bridge in that song.
still to this day, iconic. It's so good, man. It's always great to spend time with you, and I can't wait to see you out on the road this year. And thank you for always making the time for me, man. It really
Yeah, man.
is.
I appreciate everything you do and being on the team day one with us, and it's been a real treat to get to know you.
Well, hopefully you take home some hardware here in the next few weeks, and I'll be
We'll
rooting
see.
for you at the Grammys, man. Hey,
Thanks,
you know
man.
what? It's like the saying goes, it's an honor to be nominated. I mean,
And that's
something.
true. I think every time I hear it's an honor to be nominated. Have you got time for a quick story?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I don't know if I ever told you this story or not, but the first time I was ever nominated for a Grammy was I was in a band called the Steel Drivers. It was a
Mhm.
bluegrass band, and they were reading the nominations on television. It was Dave Grohl reading the nominations, and he's reading, person you've heard of, person you've heard of, person you've heard of, and the Steel Drivers. And he stops and he looks up at the camera and he says, "And remember, it's an honor to be nominated," because he knew we had no shot. We had no shot. And that's when I hear it's an honor to be nominated. I see Dave Grohl looking up at the television and in a very knowing way saying, "And remember, it's an honor to be nominated."
I don't know if you've ever gotten to tell him that story, but if you ever do, I hope I am in the room because I would love to see his
I
reaction.
think I've told him that story before, but it's one of my favorite experiences in music because it was so real in the moment. I was just like, all right, thanks.
I love it, man. Well, Chris, have a great 2024.
You
Here's
too.
this one going all the way to the top here in a few weeks, and good luck at the Grammys.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.